Yo, peace and black power. It's your brother knowledgebornallah. Do Knowledge Radio. The place where knowledge is born.
Knowledge Radio.
This is 3K.
Think tank.
This is 3K.
The principles, the Constitution, the Charter of the UNIA. That is what we stand on as a nation of people. And these colors, this standard. Every nation in the world has to have their own flag, and this is ours. And those of us who stand on this flag stand on the representation of the black nation. That is what we have to represent. That is where we stand in the world of people and nations as the black nation under Marcus Garvey's standard, the red, black, and the green.
Let it fly, rep those colors forever, Garvey will never die. On my 90, the throne ready, let's take a ride. Cats walk fix, men don't, choose a side. This is the path for the warriors. Seldom travel yet and still vainglorious. Black power represents us. You either rolling with Africa or against us. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. And I say I share. I gotta say I share. I share. And I say I share. Elegba, Oshun, and Obatala. And I say I share. Mokio. I share. And I say I share. And Oya, and Shango, and Yemoja. I got it, currency in my pocket, nature around my neck, front and center I rock it. Never tuck them, so folk wanna touch them, they need to stop it.
Yo, judgments, this bout substance. Never was I abusive, king of the touchy subject. I can go deep, deeper than the pussy of a broad 6 feet. Cooler high, cold tea. When I take my lead, lines roaring in the jungle. No more pain, I cause rain, I brought my thunder.
Don't let that dope boy paradise have you doing life. Don't let these scandalous bitches convince you to leave your wife. Fuck that Henny, drink some water, we working out tonight. I'm Texas bred, so that big say get your mind right. G-Code spitter, never dry snitching nigga. OG good smoker, know me juice sipper. Yo girl skirt ripper, you love her, I just miss her.
Black world order, it's time for us to link up. Learn a new language and spark a nigga to unplug. No slugs, moving too slow will leave you with no sums. +1, hell of a story to tell your grandsons. Leave a legacy, I'm here to tell you. Leave a legacy, leave a legacy. Let it all go. Leave a legacy. Tell my ancestors rise. I see the look in their eyes, yeah. See the look in their eyes until my ancestors rise.
Moral persuasion doesn't work with Caucasians. You speak his language through violence with guns blazing. So what I'm saying, negotiating with Satan, it's the waste of time. You out your African mind. Gonna make these devils pay for every single crime ever committed. Cracker, you did it, now it's time to die.
No hope for tomorrow, I lost a lot, still sleep good. I'm never walking with Saul, ain't asking for shit, so I barely ball. Unless it's wisdom or knowledge, and I ain't making through college. Didn't need that from the school of hard knocks. Yes sir, master degree there, you can keep your feedback, nigga.
Living the life of a champion. We broke out that box if you try to put us in. Shark infested waters, we ain't afraid to swim. Solid cousin rock, nigga, you paper thin. A MC with the light, ain't no forsaking him. Shut the fuck up on bringing your glass chin. Let's skate off in an orderly fashion. Get into the bag, me and Moose about to cash in.
Love is the vice you devised in. Reestablish human status. Reviving, conscious like Joey Badass. Revising, life-loving legacy is pleasantly surprising. In times when the Henny is heavy in your mind, man, I take a toke and choke from my folk like Pac dropped the liquor for what he considered nigga. Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished, that's my trigger.
They shoot you back like that. 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 1 time for the baby that's black, 2 times for the lady that's black, 3 times for the way we make stack. Revolution like hate like that.
I'm a king with a crown that's facts. She a queen with a crown that's facts. I'm a G, she a G that stacks. I'm a G, she a G that match. From my G's in the back that trap. Be a G, get back, that's tax. See, we a feet who need this facts. And we'll teach TC this facts.
Spirit is sick, praying hard, God could cure you. Baptist churches full of deacons, hallelujah. And crackers lurking, full of demons will probably shoot you. Then get off, cause they know the judge and prosecution. Run a ring of local drugs and prostitution. They love a hookah, blow a hookah in the judge's chamber, tooting snow blowing Buddha.
Black power! Black power! Black power!
Yo, peace and black power. It's your brother knowledgebornallah. Do the knowledge radio. The place where knowledge is born.
Knowledge radio.
This is 3K.
Think tank.
This is 3K.
Hey.
This is 3K.
I swear that knowledge is born. It's where I swear that knowledge is born. It's where I swear that knowledge is born. It's where I swear that knowledge is born. Who ran, who ducked, who drew down, return fires. We're the warriors, the healers, enlighteners, enlighten us. I'm tired of the same old, that game old with an upgrade. I'm a sunbathed in the sun rays while my guns blazing, they complain. Devil, my level not attainable. My metal, not malleable. I'm a man, didn't need that manual. Reparations is incalculable. Yeah, we wanted in blood, dead in the begging, head in the beheading, metal to the meddling. Members is aggressive, getting to the Armageddon. Karma, seem calmer when it comes to retribution. Caliber, catalyst in my clips and I use them on traitors and haters and the ones that spread confusion. Cause the devil's playground wasn't built for our amusement. Hey, hey, meet me at the guard hour. Hey, in these strange days, you gon' need a strong counter. Spin like Beyblade. Impenetrable armor, Orient aura. This story, this saga get gory before it get calmer. Keep holding that revolutionary posture. 85 gon' dip and dodge her, but when they get monster, they turn into MC Light, earrings, and become door knockers. I'm irate, they pirate the culture, send them to Davy Jones' locker. It's okay. Okay. Let them think that you lost it. Be patient, this type of thing you can't force it. Play possum, but nah, not know about the road. Then they can't comprehend cause the language is coded. We plan ideas and we plan explosives. Make your pockets go for more bits or more bread. The portal done open, they can't close it. You ain't got a sideline, you could cause more risk. No set birth date, no Dorian Gray portraits. It's about to get ugly and these devils can't forfeit ancestral memories, so no, I won't forget. What we building is an impenetrable fortress for sure. Every show is just like a core ship, and my flow for sure tighter than your gal's corset. It's okay. Okay. We are the source, you can't outsource it. Even Spartans don't want no parts, Neff. What do you know? Before you know it, 3,000 wild Africans at your doorstep. Hey, meet me at the guard hour. Hey, in these strange days, you gon' need a strong counter. Spin like Beyblade. No, we will not cower while the rest they play safe. We will move with God's power. This is not for play. Honor my ancestors, play the Ori day. Peace to you, loved ones, stay dangerous and stay safe. AKAs and AKs coming to make their caves cave. Wreck the race like take case, stay dangerous and stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe. 3K. You know what it is. You know where we at. You know what time it is. It's GodVersation time. Yeah, man. Yo, so it's peace to the gods, born the devil. Peace in your mind is power. Find what you do with that power. Make you evil or divine. And we choose divinity each and every time. We are here at this time. You know what I'm saying? The born, knowledge born hour. And we here to build on something amazing. You didn't saw it. You didn't see who's gonna be there. You didn't got your morsels up, right? All right, so we're gonna talk about that event, but we're gonna get into why this event is important. We're going to get into why the work we doing, not just on the screen, not just when you see us here, but outside, and how all that comes together and accumulates, and, you know, why you supposed to be, you know what I mean, conversating with us right now. You know what it is. You know, I'm son the great GR8, the God correspondent. You see my brother right there, the he's like everywhere at all time. Wherever he goes, listen, people, everybody just they be like, they be calling him out, they be calling his name out, you know what I mean, all day. Just like, yo, this is what it needs to be. My brother, knowledgebornallah, is in the building. And right now you see underneath us, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
He really supposed to be on top of us. Let me just
yeah.
He really supposed to be on top of us.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta have
we wouldn't see each other and we wouldn't be each other if we didn't have this commonality. This commonality is the foundation. So we have a celebration and a commemoration and a rededication to African retributionary and reformation, African familyhood. You understand what I'm saying? We've done it twice. So we met together and we begin to maneuver and work together because of this foundation. You see what I'm saying?
True.
What we were all doing separate, we could all converge in a societal space to begin to move and to organize and to operate beyond the lip service. That we don't have philosophical alone. You understand what I'm saying? So we're looking at this is the only RBG conversation. You understand? Because we ain't conning nobody. So we switched it from con to God-versing. So we God-versing in that divine God justice space that we operating in. So in that divine God justice space on Garvey Eve.
Mm-hmm.
So for everybody who missed June the 10th, on the Ascension Day, you got a chance to reform and reshape your mind and have your flag flying high. In case you missed the 13th, you understand what I'm saying? You can recalibrate your brain and your schedule and your mind around a space and be reminded that we come from Africans who moved on our enemies and fucking executed them.
Right.
You understand? So we right here, right now, in that space, and in that space, we honor our ascendant, we honor our elders, we honor our peer group, we honor our youth and those ancestors yet to come. So that entire culminating factor is what make us great. So I said all that to introduce us to one who works tirelessly and thanklessly in all of those realms to ensure that we have the proper propaganda and we have the proper strategical implementation to go beyond lip service into reality, to go beyond it sound great, it breathe well, and everybody happy about it for a moment, or they upset about it for a second, but they ain't gonna do shit about it. So one who's going to provide, who has provided us throughout his lifespan with that kind of situation for us to be able to move as Africans, not just talk African and look African. So brothers and sisters, one more time, the man, the myth, the legend, and the founder of this illustrious intergalactical, intercontinental space, our brother, the man, the myth, the legend, Thutmose Sankara is in the building. One more.
Salute. Yes, and it's an honor always to be with the comrades for that proper propaganda, for that political organizational space. You know, I be fighting for that space, like to just talk about what it is that's serious, that needs to be done for us as a people and as a nation, particularly right now where we are. And so with the foundation of this, what I'm calling a nation, and I've spoken to the comrades, Knowledge and Son the Great, in regards to what we need to be, like a revolutionary African no limit, like a chamber of guns going off consistently in different directions of consciousness, covering every realm from the female to the male to the youth to the elders, in every thought pattern, bringing that all together through that vehicle of revolutionary hip hop that is the weapon of political and propaganda consciousness of our people in this generation. And so I just sought to, just because I love it so much and I listen to it so much, and it's the whole energy that propels me each day to do this work. It was only, like proper to, as I'm an organizer, to bring that energy. But it took a while because I used to do, just like isolated political musical events, right? From way back from 2013, 14, the Mutulu Shakur birthday celebration, the Veranza Bowers launch and listening party, all of these musical things that were connected to political things, right? And so over time, after working with Zaid Malik, Tahir RBG, Mike Chambers, and all these comrades, in my mind, it said, well, damn, how can I get all of them? There's Sid, there's Amin, Supreme, there's Sister Jasira X, there's Sister Natural Onyx, there's, Raka and Musa in the Kazi gang, there's Amani Amin Patah, there's all these people. And so I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, how do we bring them all together at the same time? And why should we do it? What would be the draw in order for them to feel like they should devote their artistic talent to a event that they would feel good about participating in? And so out of my political experience working with Dr. Jeffries and Baba Mukasa and all them, is Marcus Garvey, the RBG flag. That's the foundation. So the artists had already had them really like seeded the ground because they chose to say in their music consistently, RBG, red, black, and green. The black woman is God. Dr. Khaled, and all of these energies from the new African struggle. I saw them creating their own lane of consciousness and revolutionary struggle with their art form, even beyond and above what we saw that Tupac did, that we saw that Dead Prez did, and we know how, shout out to Stick and M, the greatest that ever did it. But up under them, there's another generation of revolutionary artists, right? And many of them are involved in revolutionary struggle, not only involved in their artistry, but also work in the community. So a lot of times I came to know them based on that fact, and the fact that I decided to bring them all together. Like I said before, it had to be something that would be the draw. So the red, black, and green, Marcus Garvey, the political ideology of us being a nation, particularly the nation of New Africa in the United States, was the draw and the idea that we put together in a long way. Myself, when I came up with the idea, me and Tahir were together here in Atlanta. I'm like, Tahir, we've been doing this stuff all this time, but why don't everybody just come at the same time? He's like, well, you got to do it. And I'm like, well, how? He's like, well, just let's do Marcus Garvey. And I'm like, okay, all right, so but let's call it RBG. And then the triple infinity, the red, black, and green with the triple circle infinity thing. So I designed that. And then we went to the diviner, Baba Sola, We had it read it, and then we went forward from there. And so the foundation of the RBG Music Festival was based upon that political consciousness between me and my comrade, and then us going and having it divined upon by our spiritual, diviners in the community that we knew. And so that's why we were so confident in bringing it forward and believe in it so much, because we knew that it had the proper foundation outside of all those things that we had done before. We made sure that the ancestors were in the front of everything that we did, and we had every aspect of it read before we went forward. I see it's something on your mind, son.
Look, you know what I'm saying? I am respectfully I'm on tomorrow for real. You know what I'm saying? So when I come on here, I'm respectful, like, go ahead, God. You know what I'm saying? But he'd be like,
no, this is our GodVersations.
Yeah.
I mean, you God. God don't exist alone. But I know it's something on your mind because I know you.
Yeah, so I want you to build on the relationship between not just the music, with the music, but how it drives people and how it's been part of the motion in freeing our political prisoners,
right?
And getting community work done, exposing what kind of work needs to be done in the community. You know what I'm saying? And where are we with the defense of the community? You know what I'm saying? Via the music and putting that together. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean,
or the arts, to say the arts, and the work.
Well, where we are is that we're in this post-Dead Prez generation, right?
Yeah.
Dead came out in 99. We 20 years later, right? And people still listen to that, and they got the little individual artists, Kendrick Lamar and other little people, right? But there's no Public Enemy, Dead Prez, go-to, conscious, revolutionary artists on the scene publicly that's commercial, that we could go to, that we always had before. Now everything is dumbed down, right? And that's on purpose because, well, hell, just all the way around the scene. Not even just talk about the police murders and all that. Look at all the deaths of the holistic health practitioners. How much a part of revolutionary hip hop is Dr. Sebi and Dr. Africa?
Right. Right.
How many times did Stickman rap about health and your diet?
Right.
It's all one, right? So you have to look at the attack on the arts and the culture as one, and see the fact that we're under attack and that we have to push back with what it is that we have. And we know that hip hop came out of the post Black Panther era when we were defeated. And all we could do was grab a microphone and talk shit about the government. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's what we did. And we're still in that era. We had these
I want people to understand. They think it's a different era. We're still in that era.
With that, if you look at a timeline of 100 or 200 years,
right,
it will say civil rights, United States, Black people, civil rights era, right? And then it will go up to 2000 with the post, and what you would have to call, neocolonialism. Because what happened was the fact that when you got into 2000, then they started killing us and putting it on video, right? And so they stoked the energy of the Black constituency towards the Democratic Party. And then when they came out with your first Black president. But at the same time, while they gave you your first Black president, they stoked your killing more and then made it where it was now it's hashtags and videos, and you could pull up YouTube and see yourself getting killed every night. That never happened before Obama.
Right.
We weren't in there where the Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin aspect, where we were able to actually see ourselves being murdered on video.
So with that being said, you know what I mean? It's obvious that seeing art and artists perform in a different light, you know what I'm saying? Fire performances, fire lyrics, fire music, you know what I'm saying? Gives a different energy, changes the energy, even if you're not there, the energy is out there now because we all came together, or the artists are coming together to bring that type
so you hear a song like Kamal Siddiqui, right? Bringing it back to your point and your question in regards to how it relates to the political prisoners, right?
Right.
The fact of us using that revolutionary hip hop art form and it going throughout the world, and people knowing who Assata Shakur is, knowing who the Black Panther Party is, and they're now coming to understand who Kamau is because of that revolutionary hip hop art form. You know how powerful that is? It's like you could sit down, like 1,000 years from now, some child may sit down and want to study year 2000 revolutionary history of Black people in the United States, right? And they probably flying to other universes and all this type of crap by now, right? But this child just get that in their mind, right? They will look at the fact that, like we just finished saying, we were defeated in a war. We were defeated in a war. It was a consistent, the war never stopped. It just took different forms. You had the slave rebellions, and then you had the African Black Brotherhood, you had Marcus Garvey, you had Nation of Islam, Deacon for Defense, SNCC, Black Mississippi Freedom Party, Black Panther Party, on up, right? And then it disperses in all of these little cells and factions, right? Because we discovered, damn, the FBI is looking at everything we're doing. So we can't be in no big ass group. We got to break it down to 6, 9, 15, 20 cats over here, 6, 9, 15, 20 cats over there. We just make a phone call, just one of them talk to each other, right? Propaganda is the organ that puts together your intelligence, right? Because you can't talk about how you're going to speak to the people until you've talked about what the message is you want to get to them.
Hey, that first of all, that was bars, and second of all, that's a shirt. You know what I'm saying? Propaganda is the organ that puts together your intelligence.
Your intelligence is based on your propaganda.
This is the truth, right? Everywhere you look, that's everything.
Come on, man. What do? We find out the information, right? And then put it out there.
Yeah.
COINTELPRO, Tuskegee experiment.
Yeah.
Everything it is that the cracker did to us. We find out what it is because some cat that was slick enough went in there and got the damn information and brought it back to us, and then now we put it out there to everybody. And so that's what we're doing. We're letting the world know. And it's so important at this time because we're on the precipice of World War III, if we understand it or not, right? Not only do we have Ukraine and Russia, we got China and Taiwan now, and these white supremacist crackers is sending threatening messages to the FBI because they're invading Trump's damn house. The crackers is wide open.
Listen.
The cracker wide open.
They said we hit the house.
Y'all
We hit
crackers,
the house, so
y'all
we'll do some other shit.
Our cracker.
So this leads us into, you know what I mean, not just telling people what's going on, but the music that you're gonna hear at the RBG Music Fest consistently gives you direction.
Right.
Gives you direction and gives you options. You know what I'm saying? And they do it, and every time I've seen it, every time I was there, I mean, I watched it myself, you know what I'm saying, grow and just be powerful each and every time in its own right. in its own right. Something happened, something didn't happen.
Something happened to make it different.
Right.
And it kept growing. The energy was so strong last year.
What?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to plant a big ass copper rod in the middle of the ground. This time, I ain't sleeping on the shit this time, son. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to ground this festival before we start because the energy was so powerful, it was zapping everybody. I got zapped, Mike got zapped.
I got zapped. It
was just
hit me
we
too.
had to ground it
From experience. But
we have to ground it because we drew all that energy from the ancestors. And although we poured libation to them, our energy did not direct itself more towards them consistently enough to where they had to stop us and say, okay, do you feel me?
Yeah.
Do you feel me now? Bring your next one up. Boom, I'm gonna zap his ass too. Bring your next one up. Boom, I'm gonna zap his ass. Do you feel me now?
Yeah.
And they did it at the first festival. Born can tell you. They turned off the lights on the whole damn street.
Yeah.
And so it's like they show us that they're there and they give their opinion, and then we pay respect to the elders, right? When the ancestors give their present, we pay respect to the elders, and then we get peace at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it went each time. Well, you remember last year, the youth, remember the baby in the New African Scout line, right?
Yeah,
just drop right now. The energy was so powerful. And see, I'm just really trying to be like, that's why I'm mentioning it now. Sure, to ground ourselves this time as we go forward with it. We got to be sure to do that, son, because the energy that we're working with is powerful, and we saw what the result of that was. But getting back once again to what we're talking about, the political consciousness of it, and particularly the political prisoners. Mutulu Shakur, Baranza Bowers, Kamal Siddiqui, Mumia Abu Jamal, Mama Joyce. We won so many victories. Sundiata Kohli is home, and I got the chance to hear his voice, and I was with Sekou Odinga, you know, and the Move 9 prisoners are home. Janet, Janine, Eddie, Mike, Debbie, you know, we won victories. This is the struggle of the political consciousness of Africans in the United States. Our political prisoners are the ones who've given sacrifice in direct military struggle for us in this generation. So I hold on to them so close because I just feel like, I mean, I've had military experiences, but their generation was the last time that we had a national concerted revolutionary military effort towards our liberation. And what it is that we have to do is with this political consciousness, through all of what's going on, the way that we are separated from our children, and the fact that when it comes time, when these crackers come out and they do what they're doing with all these Trump crackers and all of that, we have to be prepared. Where if we can't do nothing else, we just drop that Son the Great CD off out the window to them niggas ass and just let them listen to that, and they and they'll know where to send the email at and get in touch with us and join the cell from there.
That's what it is. Hey man, they say we take revolutionary rap all around the world. 6 months later, there's a revolution there.
Right. He said international. Our general be talking fast because he one of them Florida folk. You understand what I'm saying? That was the last international. So the last global era. Global era. So we have national instances here, but they were so sporadic that you can't name them in the way that you're supposed to name them. But we come from an ancestral revolutionary lineage that's global. We have a symbiotic relationship that we no longer nurture. We no longer nurture the symbiotic relationship. So you could have people step in the gap and say, we don't have no relationship with Africa, and Africa don't got no relationship with us. There's never been a time Even right now, even in the space where we still operating from that space and we holding on to National Geographic mind frames.
Right.
We're holding on to National Geographic mind frames. This mind map is something that was so phenomenal that it scared the Africa out of us. So you could see it on the TV and you could read the fucking magazines. The improper propaganda campaign was proof that all of these black people that we were working with, all of these black people who were in these organizations, they had a presence and have a presence in Africa. So our enemies were showing you National Geographic and had the British India Company and all of the European colonial powers were in Africa and was showing you Africa so you wouldn't fucking come there. So you wouldn't reconnect there. So you would no longer honor the people who went there. So that relationship, our relationship with our enemy is symbiotic too, with the devastation of our mentality in regards to our mother and father. Africa is our mother and the universe is our father. You see what I'm saying? So our disconnection from Mother Nature, Mother Africa, and Father Universe. We're disconnected in that fashion. So we could get all the way down to this space where we're talking nationality and you don't have an army to defend your nation. We're talking nationality and you don't have an agricultural program put in place to feed your nation. We're talking nationality and we don't have a proper revolutionary educational system to train and feed and clothe your nation. And then they'll tell you like, hey, why y'all claiming the whole continent? And then you call yourself American like America ain't a continent.
Right.
Like it ain't North America and South America. Like those aren't continents.
Yeah, like them people they wasn't never existing that was here before too. Yeah.
We have to reinvigorate the symbiotic relationship to our mother and father, our ancestors, because I hear the ancestors all the time. Everybody got ancestors. Our ancestors, this is that grounding part that the general is speaking about, our grounding space. When we looked at the first festival, that grounding space was in place because there was a bunch of events that were going on that was surrounding us that said Black Power is dead and Black Power don't work. And all of their lights were out.
Yeah.
Right.
All of their lights were out.
Yep.
They didn't have any power.
Right.
So we're there with the founder who coined the term, the reason why we say Black Power. He's on the stage talking about the necessity of putting our all
right
into walking in Black Power, and the fucking lights came back on.
And that's when the fucking lights came back on.
The
Right
lights came back on.
Moment. Right at that moment when he
So-
was telling us what we need to do is when the lights
Our
came.
mission for Africa, our mission, Africa must be free. Everybody say it strong. Africa must be free. Africa must be free. He said, long live Africa, Black Power, and the lights came back on.
Yep, sure did.
We didn't lose any power. We didn't lose any light.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So
yes, sir.
Looking at that from the perspective where our general was talking about grounding, we were grounded. And after that festival, our Baba made transition.
Yeah.
So the ancestral patron of the annual RBG Music Festival.
The one who poured the first libation for the first festival.
The first libation.
Yes.
Is there with us in that space, there with us in that land. So that redeeming quality that exists in the ground, in the soil, that's the stage. What better stage for you to be on?
Right.
What better place for you to be on? What better communication for you to be in at the same time? That divine communion that exists right there. Somebody who was right there in the space.
Who now in the
Big
ancestor
transition.
realm, looking over us, watching what we're doing.
So yeah.
That's powerful right there, man.
So from
That's
the first
powerful.
one,
I be thinking about the Bible. I be thinking about him a
Right.
lot because I still got the video too of him pouring the libation too. I still got it.
from the first one to the second one, when we look at this from the wisdom perspective, because the first one was the knowledge one. Now we're looking at it from the wisdom perspective.
Mhm.
You don't have a nation if you have your people in captivity or bond service to another people.
Right. There you go.
So we on the wisdom perspective, we looking
Right.
at it. So we got wise words and wise ways in action.
Right.
So we got, the call, free them all.
Free
If
'em all.
they ain't free, then we ain't free. You understand?
And then after that becomes the understanding.
Right.
And when you understand is when you act.
That's it. There's understanding. The understanding.
I studied Clarence a little bit too. You know what I mean?
Look.
You know what I mean?
With this understanding, we know what the understanding is. This is why we're moving.
Yes, sir.
The way that we're moving. You see what I'm saying? Because understanding is to see things clearly for what they are and not for what they appear to be.
Right.
Not for what they appear to be. So we're not confused about what's going on. And we're not confused about any term that we're using. So for the term police and the term fucking agents who want to hear and play around with words, we know exactly what words of power we're using. We know what it is.
On your ass.
Right. So for the ones who would say, just for instance, black means death. Black used to mean death for our enemies. Now it means death for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Black used to mean death for our enemies. This is why they used black before they used white. They used black clothing. There was the Night Riders before they was the Klan.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were recreating what happened to them every time they came into occupation or battle with us. They were fucking dead.
Right.
They were dead. So now you're talking about an instance where we no longer have that polarity of inflicting the punishment and death upon our enemies, all of those from our people. And we got the black and the death was synonymous, but whose death is it? Whose death is it? You see what I'm saying? So that's where we're going back to. This is what understanding is. Understanding is to see things clearly for what they are, not for what they appear to be. So reinvigorating our youth and empowering them to reclaim their power on every level. From whatever, with that proper sensor. You see what I'm saying? So let me get off my RBG box and pass it back.
Come on,
to our
come on, God correspondent.
Hey, no.
I want to say this. If I can, I ain't never done this before, but if I could introduce a correspondent on their own show. Last year, before the festival last year, when Son of God came on, because I had this relationship with Mike, right? Mike Chambers, where I would just shoot little assignments to him, right? Mike, hey, look, we need a song for H. Rap Brown, bro. He like, all right. You know what I'm saying? About 90 days later, man, check this out. Check your email. No. Cool cat, black shades, afro crown. Calm and collected. H. Rap Brown. I said, oh shit. I got that kind of power. I can say something. This kind of. All right. but I got to give it to a certain cast, right? So I was waiting. I want to try to give Mike too much heavy work, right? I said, who else?
He did the Bukasa.
He did that on his own.
Yeah.
But I know that it was during the time I was locked up and I was on the three-way, me and him and Mukasa. But that came out of his own mind to do, right? And he just sprung it on me, but I knew it came out of our organizing energy because me and him and Mukasa was on the three-way talking about what's going to happen, how I'm going to get out, all this stuff here, right? So he bust out of his mind with that. So I said, well, Mike done gave me two. What somebody else going to do? You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So when it was at the Garvey Day last year, right? And I recorded the joint that you did, the Free 'em All, right? What's the call? Free 'em all. If they ain't free and we ain't free, I said, well,
yeah, that's what you said.
That's my guy. Like them Savannah cats say, that's my guy. I got him. That's right. Hey, look, this was, and I'm in the midst of the organizing process of Kamal Siddiqui, where he's in prison right now with, like you wrapped in your rhyme, hepatitis and diabetes and
Dr. Enki.
Well, we got it. We got it straight now, but it's because of that energy of that organizing weekend that we all did, including your song and our performance and all of that, that ended up where, boom, the crackers got right.
Okay.
He good now.
Yeah.
I ain't even saying nothing. I don't even get on the call no more. I'm trying to organize the festival. You know what I mean? Y'all good? Y'all good? That's it. I'm going on to the next thing. But that's the power of what it is that we can do with this music.
Right.
Because if, like I said, 100 years later, somebody go back to that and say music, political prisoners, year 2000, 2050. Right? And their little search engines 100 years from now, they can find every damn thing now. They can find what it face at, face match. They can find our performance in the West End Park on the satellites. Right? Right. 100 years from now. And they will see that New Africa and Africans in the United States never gave up on their struggle.
Right.
And that even if you couldn't see what we was doing militarily, you'll see Gavin Long, and you'll see Michael X, and you'll see Brian Nichols, right? But you may never be able to pinpoint the focused formation because propaganda gives you your intelligence, remember? Right. That's how important the job is of these artists that's organizing these things. Cryptic messages, vibratory rhythms, knowledge points in directions of spiritual consciousness and different trades and survival tactics and military maneuvers and all of these things can be given, and a nigga just take it and just run with it. And you just gave them a message. And they went on their damn way. But they never would have thought about it if your ass hadn't said it, if they didn't heard it. That's the power of this shit. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, sir. The purpose in I, as an artist, you know what I mean, is driven by that. It's not driven by the finances. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I heard the rules. You know what I mean? You don't use this to make your money. If you make some money, you go make some other money off that money you just made. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean, I also understand there's a great sacrifice. And it's for the people that you need to be giving the art, raising the culture of the people through the art, the philosophy, the rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? The word is how you raise the civilization. When that falls, the civilization falls.
There you
This is
go.
the importance that I recognize as an artist
That's
and what it is, which is why I'm a motivational vocal expressionist over just being some musical counterpart. You mean
That's
to
it. That's the message. That's the
a
message.
part of the culture of
That's
hip hop.
when you understand the word muse.
Muse. That's why it's muse think, right? Yeah.
The muse it's related to the court jester, right? And when you study, particularly in the Kemet science, study the court jester. He wasn't just a dude coming in the court with the things on balls on his head and doing all this crap. He was the messenger on the battlefield. He was the only one that the king or the pharaoh would trust to come straight from the court and get on the chariot and go straight to where he is on the battlefield. And he know everything that dude said was going to be correct, straight from where his people was at. That's the muse. That's Elegba. So that responsibility that I want to share this with y'all. Someone sent me a picture one time with Fela Kuti and Thomas Sankara sitting there looking like they were scheming on some shit, right? They lean in on each other and, you know, whispering some shit, right? And I said, wow, I never thought about the fact that the the revolutionary political consciousness could go that deep, because I didn't know the relationship between Fela and Sankara at that point. I figured them cats had to probably been around each other, but I didn't see the picture before. But when he showed me that, I said, well, damn. All right, well, hey, look, there's this song that you know who Kamal Siddiqui is. Yo, no, send me the artist, tell me who he is. Boom. That's what, when you sent that picture, that's when I sent you to do the song. Right there. Yep. That was that point. That was that moment. And so that political consciousness grows, right? Because it connects from organizationally one mind to another.
Right.
But the thing that we need and that we're missing at this point is that because we exist in this corporate empire of the United States, that corporate structure for us to be able to organize around so that at least we can mutually invest, the artists can mutually invest in each other in order to support this effort against Western imperialism, that if it grows to a point, see, I think way ahead, right? And so we struggling to get this shit off the ground now, right?
Right.
But I'm seeing already ahead. And I'm thinking to myself, woohoo, boy, who gonna write the damn song? Who gonna be the one that make that shit jump off? Is it gonna be Son? Is it gonna be Mike? Is Tahir gonna put out some shit? Is it gonna be Rocker? Somebody gonna write that shit. And a nigga on the one of the radio stations gonna put that shit on, it's gonna take off, and every nigga in the country gonna hear that shit. And are we gonna be ready? Or niggas gonna start getting smirked and shit like Pop Smoke and the rest of these motherfuckers. That's how I'm thinking. I'm way out there, son. I'm way out there. Because I know. I mean, goddamn, look at Pop.
Yeah.
Come on, damn. I took pockets like, I mean, because I was around some of the people. Shock G is from Tampa. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I was around some like the same people, but that Pop was so young and he was giving so much so fast, right? That it was too difficult for him to figure it out in the length of time that he was given, you know, and so we lost him.
Well, hold on. I have to say this. He knew he wasn't gonna make it, and he gave us what he gave us. So and we still talking about him. So you mean the energy is still vibrating.
But that's because
he's
see,
still
how many cats did you know like that, son, in the streets growing up where you at?
What you mean?
Motherfuckers who knew they were finna go all out.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
You should. I was one of them. You know what I'm saying? To a certain point.
There you go.
I started having my children. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You know what I'm saying? But I was that.
He didn't make it there.
Right. So
he didn't make it there. But the fact that the same cat who was giving him his advice, telling him, don't go to California, don't take that $1 million from Suge, don't do it. The same cat who had been his manager all this time from the Republic of New Africa, who and Chokwe Lumumba, his lawyer, who was telling him don't do it too, he still did it. Like, come on, bro. That's what we have to deal with our children. And that's where we are as a people and as a nation. We're going to do what we have to do with the proper propaganda and putting it forward. But like that's why I keep talking about what they are going to be looking at in the future, because even if we can't save these ones now, we still have to do our work.
So the business of the RBG Fest, Music Fest, is not just for the entertainment, which I never do what I do for entertainment. You know what I mean? But it's for the business of gathering and regrouping and then incorporating and becoming the business that needs to, and being the base and the foundation for that business, showing, improving, and watching. And you know what I mean, so that means we need to put work in together. You know what I'm saying, and create the album, create the platform, because we have everything we need. We have the people.
All everybody gotta do is put one song in, and there go the album right there.
Yeah,
pump that shit around the world. Everybody got one in it. Everybody pump it. Here go how much money you put in it. You put 1,000. You put 1,000. You put 1,000. Everybody's album, everybody's song on that one album. Watch that shit blow. And it ain't got nothing to do with like any individualism. There's ways we can craft this thing based on African science where all individually benefit. That's knowledge socialism.
The individual is part of the group, and the group is the individual. The group moves as one, just like the individual, just like the cells in your body. You mean, come on, man, everything is put together like that. So you know what I mean, act accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Everything vibrates. They were talking
I was watching this video yesterday about amoeba and about fungi. And the Japanese had done an experiment, right? And they put a chamber of plastic in a certain pattern where it was shaped in the form of the cities and the nodes where they had their transportation centers around the city. They just mapped out a maze for the fungi to grow according to that pattern. And so first the fungi started growing in a certain pattern, but then it reorganized itself and started going in the direction innately that would be the most economical path towards that point. And that's what we do with the military. Knowledge knows this. We study nature. It knows better than anyone. When you study nature and you understand that survival of species over millions of years of time can teach you more than anything. If you just have the patience to just sit down and study it, you know, the cockroach, you know, how do you stump this dude and the dude get back up and start running? It's like, it's not this crap broke in his back and stuff. What is in there? What is that what is that skeletal structure? How can we benefit from that? Is there some type of suit we can build based on that structure to protect us in that same way where we could get crushed by some crap like that and still be walking? You know, studying nature. was our number one military premise. And so when you talk about what it is, Kofi G from Kazi Gang is gonna be at the festival this year, because I called him. I was like, Kofi, man, I need you, man. He's like, what's up, Tut? I'm like, I need that African Wild Dog song. I need that African Wild Dog song. He said, what's up, Tut? I say, bro, you the one made up the damn group. And the song, how you gonna ask me? What made you say African Wild Dogs? He said, well, they the most successful in their hunts. 75% of the times that African Wild Dogs go out, lions only 33%. 75% of the times African Wild Dogs go out after something, they get it. Because of their tactics. Because of their pack strategy. I say, yeah, bro, I studied them. When they start running, one group of runners stay behind, and then when the front group of runners get tired, then the other group of runners take over. And they keep going. And they can maintain the speed. A cheetah's the fastest thing, 70 miles an hour, right? But they could do it only over about a quarter mile. African Wild Dogs will chase your ass for 5 miles. Just each one taking a frog leg. You know what I'm talking about, knowledge? You know, that leapfrog tactics. You know, there's one going out in front of when you get tired, now I'm out here. That cat there, he ain't going to keep running after all of us. Our combined energy. They find a way to combine their energy where economically they, with their heart rate and their breathing and rhythm and number and strength, those who are the strongest, and it's innately which one decides when the other ones get tired, which one start first. I'm ready. Gone. African Wild Dogs. Great military tactics for a diasporan community of Africans separated from their homeland. Mm-hmm. Having to find some type of unified front and strength. And figuring out a way how to utilize these individual strengths in these different arenas, right? And so we haven't even tapped into that. We just talk about the music and shit. We ain't talking about all these individual talents of these people that are these artists that carrying out these endeavors, right? So we haven't even gotten into that yet. So that's still something that we still have to discover and go forward with. You know what I mean?
Let's talk about who we see on the screen right there. Who's coming? You see it right there, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Talk about it. Talk about the people.
Hey, coming. Man, look. First of all, you got to start off like we said. The young OG. I mean, when you talk about Tahir, I mean, come on, man. This basically the third member of Dead Prez. You know, that brother was there. He was organizing with them. He's got credits on their first album. You know what I mean? And so politically, that's why ideology. So it's like me and him. We both from Florida, right?
Right.
And like I said, when I came up with this idea, he and I were together. And so we have this symbiotic thing where he's the spiritual guy and I'm the political guy, right? And so with this process, because of all the crap that done happened, the pandemic and my ass going to jail and him going through stuff, you know what I mean? We just haven't been able to consolidate properly. And so we're still seeking to do that. We haven't gotten to that point where we are consolidated as a nation. And there's steps that need to be taken. We need the license. First of all, we need to lay out what we're going to do. Whether we're going to be some loose leaf indie artist label where we're going to be like a no limit thing with, different chambers shooting out or whatever. But the main thing about it is it's going to have to be a artist organized effort.
Right.
Organizers can provide the venue and ask you to come to the shit and all of that, but it's you guys' art form. I write books and shit. You know what I mean? So that's my little shit. I do write political shit. You know what I mean? It might not even want me. I write. The drones were flying over the eastern coast of Africa, and the revolutionaries were waiting in the bush in the swamp outside our tour for the drones to pass over before they can come out and attack the white installation on the coast. That's the kind of shit I like to write. That's my thing. Yeah. That's what I'm into. You know what I mean?
So on the 27th of August, this month, you know what I'm saying? We've been talking about it. The grounds where we're going to be at. Where we're going to be at?
Of course, the unbiased Museum.
I'm saying if you haven't had your opportunity to go there, make sure you come here. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to be there, 2 days? We're going to be there 2 days? Yeah. 27th, 28th. You know
yeah.
Be there. So.
And what it is, the 7th anniversary?
Yes, sir. God.
The 28th?
Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah, there it is.
I probably ain't gonna even leave. I'm gonna probably just sleep there that night.
Me too.
Break out the tents and stuff. You know what I mean?
I don't even need the tent. I had a chair to the side, cot to the side, like fuck it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was trying to look for a place for an after party, but I couldn't. I ain't had I couldn't make it work.
This the after party. The next day.
This is it right here.
Yeah, that's the after party. You want to see it? Yeah. See it? It's right there. It's a party right there. You say?
Way live.
We got DJ God Sticks on the one too. We got honoring going. Let me just curate this real quick.
We got the one. Knowledge. Do you need a host?
Do I need a host?
Yeah, you need a host for Sunday.
No. I happen to know this dude. He one of the baddest motherfuckers on the planet. Okay, and when he gets the hosting, he the host with the most.
Oh, son.
What? What are you talking about?
I don't know. I just wondering who choking out on that.
I'm laughing.
The funny thing about Sunday's host is the same host for Saturday. I see him on this thing here.
Yeah, that's why
I'm saying. I
ain't seen the flyer.
He next to the baddest woman in the universe. You understand what I'm saying?
He next to Venom.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah. Okay. Well, this one of them all around. Are you gonna film it too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
You got everything then.
Yeah. We can tell them folks to leave their camera phones at home on Sunday. Saturday, I let you bring them in there. Sunday, y'all know me. I don't be messing around. Keep your phone in your pocket. Okay? So,
terrible.
Sunday at the same holy space right there. unbiased Museum. Shout out to Brother Kevin, man. He's so close to my heart and spirit. You understand what I'm saying? Out there. We're going to be out there celebrating the GodVersations, 7 years, okay? 7 years of Do the Knowledge Radio. The African proper propaganda, African insurrection, African retributionary station, okay? I had to say African that many times, okay? All right. So this cultural space is there. This ancestral space is there for us to celebrate and to honor. And two of our honorees is on the platform right now. Surprise. Two of our honorees is on the platform.
He said surprise.
Surprise. Okay. because I want to. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is because we have to reinstitute what we used to do. And we used to celebrate our people while they were here. We got elaborate send-offs and homegoings and second lines for those who, make transition, because that's another thing. But we're here. They're still here. You see what I'm saying? We're still here. Like if I didn't know you in real life and I see you didn't change your profile picture after I made transition, somebody's supposed to come smack the shit out of you. You understand what I'm saying? They're supposed to beat your ass within the into your life. Because if you had the opportunity to do what you were supposed to do while I was there in your physical space, don't be trying that in spiritual space, because I'll slap the shit out of you. So our honorees for their hard work, their dedication, who have dedicated their lives. There are other people who can't be here that will be honored and will be mentioned during this, ceremony. That's what recognition means. You understand? So we're going to have live performance. We're going to be partying. We're still going to set aside time to have moments of spotlight interviews for the vendors, for the people, for the vendors, for whoever that shows up out there. You understand? Because we're curating this process as something. This is the first time that this has happened outside of the virtual space. For the last 6 years, it's been a virtual. This is the first physical celebration of Do the Knowledge Radio.
Truth.
So we right there in New Africa, and we're going to get busy. Okay, so we got Saturday and we got Sunday. So we truly got a strong in New African representation, honor, and celebration. So if you want to be a part of this marketplace, you have to get with us ASAP. ASAP, okay? ASAP. ASAPinese, okay? ASAPinese.
Quicker than that. Hey, when it comes to economics, right? I be having this conversation with my goddess. You know what I'm saying? When they say, a business, right? What do they say? When it's just starting out, it's in the red. That's what they say, right? Your business in the red. You could be in the red like 5 years. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Ain't about that. But when you start making that, and even if you just breaking even, you know what I'm saying? Boom, you in the black now. You know what I'm saying? And so when you start getting beyond just being in the black and breaking even, and you start really making, and you in them, okay, you making money and you stacking money, or you have this, you have collateral, whatever. You in the green.
In the green.
See, they know the power of the red, the black, and the green. You know what I mean? And they incorporate it into their system, their God, their money. You see what I'm saying? This is how.
For my less nobodies out there, y'all see that? That's why it's an award-winning platform. Okay, it's an award. Ding. Okay, in the shape of the sun seed. Okay, so shout out to my sis, man, Sunshine Monet L. You know what I'm saying? This award for the Less Nobodies convention that's going on simultaneously. Y'all better be glad, okay? Because she was using her voodoo intergalactic starseed power to get me up there, because I would have been up there. Okay. But Thutmose would have banished me to RBG hell and shit if I didn't show up. So So this platform is in the running for another award this year. So,
your platform, Do the Knowledge?
Yeah, our platform. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's how it goes.
The one you just manage it. I know it's ours.
Yeah. I just manage it and pay for it every fucking month.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's all.
That's all.
Keep doing it. Do it well. Let me know when you need some help. I might, if I'm in a position. You know what I mean?
Hey, we got the 3K for 3K campaign going on too. Now.
Oh yeah, I heard about it. Somewhere to the grapevine.
Yeah. We out here doing this month. We doing that.
I was saving my money up for your ass when you get here, so I can.
Hey, praise the Lord.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Amen. You can do two of them, man. Because the more people that see that, there's more people putting something on that.
I'm gonna say something. Let me say something, son.
Gonna be putting on that GoFundMe.
Let me say something, son. Let me say something.
Yeah.
Certain people, knowledge, Tahir. I operate a certain way. There's a certain humility. And well, not really a humility. If I ain't passed that shit through the elders, then I don't be like feeling like 100%. And then people be throwing shit on me in the kind of like in the midst of things, and I don't have time to think about it, and I'm not gonna make a decision on the fly. That's the thing about me. I'm gonna think the thing through and then deal with it after I run it through my elder circle and probably have Tahir read it and whatever, right? And this is what I understand about this process, as I was saying earlier. Because the whole damn world is focused on hip-hop, the crackers got to put it in the damn commercials even to sell you some shit. Right? You ain't going to get everybody. But if you go hard, just like I told you, son, make a song about Kamal Siddiqui. Don't nobody know who he is. Make it hard. Study him. And you did it. And then you got a chance to perform it in front of his daughter.
That was the dopest part right there, though. On some truth. That was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like
and she loved it, that shit.
Yeah,
and she was so excited. So I ain't even tell you this, son. She got the whole recording, got your whole joint, and then she was so excited after you finished rapping, she didn't even keep recording and get my little damn shit at the end.
Yeah.
You got all here. So I said, well, maybe that wasn't meant for them to hear yet. You know what I mean?
Nah. The whole idea from start to finish was an honor. You know what I'm saying? And truth is truth. You know what I mean? The call is made for that aspect. So for it to be heard and taken in for the people I actually wrote it for. You know what I'm saying?
So let me just tell the community real quick. Let me just explain to the community.
That's amazing.
Kamal Siddiqui, aka Freddie Hilton, is the father of Asada Shakur's daughter. Is my comrade, Kasise Siddiqui. Kasise had the opportunity to grow up with her father most of her life. He did a short stint, 6 years after his involvement in the Black Panther Party. And then in New York, had been working for the telephone company 18 years. And in 1999, the United States government, think about this, 1999, you're going out of the Clinton years into the Bush years. The United States government don't give a damn whether Democrat, Republican, they still gonna kill black revolutionaries. And even if a black man is the president, her reward had already been $1 million. It was not until Obama came into office after the 80s, after she'd been captured, that they put another $1 million on her head. A black man. Think about that, Africans. Think about that.
You said Africans. As soon as you said Africans, one of them fully diluted RBG Africans just popped in here, okay? The Hannibal Baraka of RBG. Okay. Hannibal Baraka RBG.
Hey.
So the man, the myth, the legend.
Big comrade. Salute.
Love when you talk that black.
Shit.
Love when you talk that black. Love when you talk that black. Hey, Mike Chambers.
Mike Chambers. Salute. Mike Marvel, where you at, bro?
Yo, no faking. Peace, comrades.
Yes, sir. Peace,
You
bro.
know what I'm saying? You know how I do, man. Yo, man, I was just in the cut, man.
We're pulling this nation together.
Oh, look, man, I heard the whole show. I be watching before I call in, man. because the commentary and the information be so good. Man. And I learned so much. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm still a student, so I just listen. You feel me? I just listen to the greatness.
Yes, sir. So, like I was saying, and I wanted to link what I was saying to something that occurred with Dr. Khaled here in Atlanta. I mean, Mike, y'all already know we're in the center of struggle in New Africa, and so we were just talking about his writing of the song Kamal Siddiqui. Free Kamal. Free Kamal Siddiqui.
Free Siddiqui.
Right. And the significance of that political alteration. The fact that in our political consciousness in this nation, what we are establishing proprietarily as an artistry,
right,
with H. Rap Brown, Mukasa Dada, B. Siddiqui, we are establishing ourselves as a propaganda organ of the new African nation. But what we need in order to bring that into full fruition is the organizational efforts in regards to how we, within this capitalistic atmosphere, bring it in fully capitalized, for the lack of a better term, or fully, maybe I should say fully socialized.
Yeah, that's what you just said right there. Because it even with the creation of this song, you know what I mean?
Yes,
first person I thought of, well, I need a beat for that. You know what I mean? Was right there because of the work that he did before that, and because I know what him and Zulu Malik Kalam, you mean, have been putting together, and the work that they have done, work that y'all don't even know about, but I know about it. I didn't heard it, so I know
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? He has something there, and you know, I'm just following the lead. You know what I mean? That's what. Okay, no doubt. My brother did it. I got to do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's an honor to do it. You know what I'm saying? It is an honor to be even asked to do that. So I mean, I had, you know, I mean, all I did was you know, gather the correct information outside of what it is that I know, but gather the correct information, and then, you know what I mean, display it and give it in a way where you gonna get it. You're gonna know the story, right? And when this is done, you're gonna know who this person is and what he went through a little something. It's gonna be up to you to even dig deeper, but at least you have a starting point with enough information to see, you know what I mean? This is why he need to be free.
I got an idea.
I got an idea too. Hold on.
What's up?
My idea ain't better than yours. My idea is just quicker. Okay.
Go.
We gotta pour some libation right quick. Hold on.
Go. Oh yeah, I'm going with you.
Yeah.
I'm going with you.
I would never let them rockets project what I see. I would never ever let them
Block.
down. Don't you ever let them blockers touch your ground. Don't you ever let them blockers stop your stride. Don't you ever let them blockers stop you when you slide. Don't you ever let them blockers stop you find your tribe. Don't you ever let them blockers stop you we lie.
They wanna stop me from planting my seeds, selling Gomorrah indeed. No blood on the leaves. We got fruit on our trees. You walking disease. No blinders on me. Blockers can't block weed. I shape Baba Chop weed. Lumumba RBG. Free the land and I truly see. Free the land you truly see. Free them all. Free Matulu. Coming at the regime using voodoo. That transparent I see through. All the spells I cast on you. Block me, no I block you. Got my people walk around like sheep. To unblock, I gotta release them to that higher power. All that energy and your energy I'll devour. And burn it every second, every minute, every hour. The bell ringing in the tower. It's time to water the flowers. The earth, yo, it's ours. We got the power. My ancestors told me we ain't no damn cowards. Spirit world protect, baby girl. The world is just ours. Third eye disease.
I would never ever let them block me. I would never let them block the project what I need. I would never ever let them blockers hold me down. Don't you ever let them blockers touch your crown. Don't you ever let them blockers stop your stride. Don't you ever let them blockers stop your wind slide. Don't you ever let them blockers stop and find your tribe. Don't you ever let them blockers stop you be lie.
I can think of 100 ways to engage the enemy. Disengage the enemy. You ain't no real friend of me. You wanna be rich, pretend to be. Ain't no niggas stopping me. Ain't no witches blacking me. Black girl magic RBG. Ain't no blocking. I'm that mama rocking cryptocurrency clocking. Chief prana, no more drama in my life, right? I'm a good wife, right? Don't test me once. I'm twice as nice. I raise my sword high. You won't like my slice in your face. I don't waste no time. I'ma shine for mine. I raise your vibe high. I got gamma rays of super sage. Kill the rage, cure the plague. Them good old days, give thanks and praise. You look amazing, like a raisin in the sun. Queens just wanna have fun, make some money, spend some time with my money, make some more. Super sage that hoe, super sage that hoe.
I would never ever let them blockers block me. I would never let them blockers project what I see. I would never ever let them blockers hold me down. Don't you ever let them blockers touch your crown. Don't you ever let them blockers stop your stride. Don't you ever let them blockers stop your wind slide. Don't you ever let them blockers stop and find your tribe. Don't you ever let them blockers stop you be lie.
Block a game, we are not the same. This is not a game. We go hard in the paint, rock a flame. You can't stop my rain, try to lock my brain, not a game. Had to pop the chain, Glock cocked and aim, copper shot and slain, not in vain. Healed a lot of pain, not a lot of shame. Mom and pop praying in the God's name. Blessings top my frame, stressing not a thing. Rocking copper rings on the proper plane. This is not your lane. I know you're mad, wearing shoulder pads, cause my flow was bad. Wish my glow you had. Big gold Naz, RBG, soldier rag, outlaw over that. Golden overlaps, flesh over trap. No cap, we the coldest cats, smoking Doja sacks, quoting potent raps, over tracks, spoken facts, not a token act. We too over that, we too different, you too ignorant, we too brilliant, we too militant, hard up 2 million men.
I would never ever let them blockers block me. I would never let them blockers project what I see. I would never ever let them blockers hold me down. Don't you ever let them blockers touch your crown. Don't you ever let them blockers stop your stride. Don't you ever let them blockers stop your wind slide. Don't you ever let them blockers stop and find your tribe. Don't you ever let them blockers stop you be lie. Blockers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I got a testimony. I got to testify.
Go ahead and testify.
Here this evening. Malik Alam is from Florida, like I am. I just came from home last month, and it's just a different energy about Florida. And he, if we both worked at WRFG, and so when we would come across each other, there was that Florida energy. Or even when we would come across each other over at, you remember Mike over at Ross Marvin, the old spot in the old apartments over there, across the railroad tracks over there. You on mute.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. Back at the compound.
Over there at the compound. And
CPBM.
Yeah, I know about that, about over there too. You know what I'm saying?
CPBM,
you went
yeah.
over there.
Shoot.
Oh, yeah.
And there was so many differences. I mean, see, because of my energy, me and Malik was there was a comrade. He on Facebook now. I'm gonna get y'all comrades, but we sent him to Sierra Leone. He came from Tampa, and he had remember son. Remember I told you about the other comrade who had the warrant from the gang task force from York, PA. Remember I told you it was another comrade. Remember I told you it was him. It was him, but he had went from York to Tampa, and he was embedded with the ASP people, African Socialist Party. And when he saw there was some bull crap, he was trying to get out of it. And my comrade's sister in Dallas had to hooked up with him, and then I was working for the African Union, so I called them, and then they was like, "Yeah, bring him up here." So I brought him to Atlanta, and then drove him to DC, and they put him on a plane and sent him to Sierra Leone. He's been there ever since.
Right.
Right. So it's like the power of the political aspect of what we're doing can drive the artistic aspect, can drive the political aspect of what it is that we're doing if we do it correctly. And the same way that, because right now, Mike, you know, I've been telling you about the little Afro drill, little comrades, right? And so they want to come. They want to not this year, but it's impossible. But they want to do something. But it's like I'm kind of holding them off because we need to be organized to the degree where we can bring them comrades in, make sure they're secure, lock them down, let them perform, and get them back out of here. But politically, that's where we need to be moving, because artistic wise, it's like shit, it's a musical army. Hip hop rules the world. These motherfuckers trying to rap in Australia and crackers all over the world. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like I've done this work all these years politically in the little vein that I deal in with what I've been trained with in the organizational experience that I have. But shit, if I was an artist and I am a revolutionary and I'm trying to convey this message to my people internationally, and then, you know, the platform that we're building has to be one that they recognize as one that has strength and that is unified. You know what I mean? Right. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's simple. And no one person can, be in charge of that. It has to be a communal effort. Is what we do. It's socialism. It's a Politburo. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's a council. You know?
I mean, well, there one popular term or phrase, which is also power to the people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now I once again, I was listening to the show earlier. You know what I'm saying? So I heard knowledge talking about how we are individuals, but that individual is still one, which is all of us as in one. You know what I mean? So once we realize that it's a collective effort as born, excuse me, as knowledge has been shown, as you know what I'm saying, the past 7 years with his platform, it's a collective effort of like-minded, genuine individuals with the cause in mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as you know, as our knowledge was also clarifying, you know, how to get it on an international level. You know, we have it here locally, but globally and international. Going back to that revolution, there hasn't been an international movement in you know quite some time. So now would be a perfect time, ideal to do that musically, being hip hop is all over the world. Um, yo, whew, I watched it grow from a 1 hour mix show once a week, real late at night. And the reason why they called it a mix is because the DJ would cut and mix in as many new records as he could in that hour.
I remember all that.
You know what I mean? So to go from there now to everywhere you turn is hip hop. That's powerful, you know. But I also come from an era, a time like the name knowledge. I got a lot of knowledge from hip hop, man, from the different artists that I heard. And you know, to tie all this into what all you brothers were speaking on earlier. This is Black August, the month where we bring attention to the political prisoners. So last night I had an opportunity to be at WRFG with the IJAN committee. They were doing a I guess a talk, excuse me, in honor of Joanne Little. When she defended herself in a prison in North Carolina, in Washington, North Carolina, right? I'm from North Carolina. I had no knowledge of this. But in 1974, this black woman was locked up. And there was a male guard, a white man, who was attempting to rape her. She killed him with an ice pick. So last night, they had some women there who had served time. And check this out. Where my book at? Ooh, Mama Tamu was there.
Yeah.
One of the original founders of New Africa. You feel me? The Republic of New Africa. You know, she was one of the speakers on the board as well. And a young lady named Pamela Wynn, who actually has done her things politically to have a lot of bills passed, to have a lot of changes in the women prison system. So I was there last night, and I had opportunity to perform H-Rap Brown. And you know, all of that was once again because of Malik Kalam.
Right.
And what I mean by that is, even before I met the brother, I used to hear shows like our knowledge. When I think about Do the Knowledge Radio, it is actually the closest thing to WRFG and community radio. And what I mean by that is different days on that station, you had different ash shifters and you had different shows and you had different people from the community, right? I remember at a Malcolm X Fest when Geronimo Pratt just got released right before he went to Africa. Just got out. His first stop was at the Malcolm X Fest in Atlanta. And I was there.
I
Right?
was too.
And he said, the voice of the people got to come from the people. Once again, this goes back to the people, right? Said it can't be someone who is politically, politically appointed. You know what I'm saying? They really got to come from the people, right? So now, we at RFG, right? And Malik Kalam used to read the letters from the brothers in the pen, right? This was, listen to me, this was 20 years ago, and he's shouting out, free Baba Matula Shakur, Dr. Matula Shakur. Got locked out his Facebook page, started a new page. The name of that page is Matulu Yahuru. You understand what I'm saying? So like me and Knowledge was having this conversation, you know what I'm saying? 20 plus years, this has been a movement, right? Malik was playing politically charged music on his radio show. Because of that, I was moved to write politically charged music, right? When individuals would bring their music to his show, he just would ask them to bring a clean versions, because he would get fined or taken off his show for playing the curse words sometimes, right? So he challenged them to write songs without curses. Me and Knowledge had a conversation earlier today, and we was just talking about, like, even now dealing with these podcasts and these platforms right here, they stipulations, they still some rules and regulations. So as Brother Tut was saying when he was watching the fungus move strategically earlier, we got to find a way to move strategically to make sure our messages are still on all platforms. We got to be wise enough, at the same time, slick enough, you feel me, with enough knowledge and know-how to penetrate these systems. That's how hip hop got all over the world. You know what I'm saying? The power in it, when you hear the music, you know it comes from the soul of the people. You know?
Yes, sir.
One of the most famous songs. I was just telling somebody, because they was asking what's going on now for these times, and I was telling them, when you listen to the message, Grandmaster Flash, they tell you that song itself, message. Damn, come on. The whole song is a message. From how a child was born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind, to the hook, to the whole thing. So revolution has always been passed through messages, as they was speaking on a court jester, one who could deliver that proper message. They got a lot of wrong programming at the moment right now. You know what I'm saying? Misprogramming, miseducation, mismessages, which is understandable. I heard Knowledge talk about the ancestors, and I heard him say, people always say the ancestors. Yeah, but you got to know your ancestors. You gotta know what spirit live in you too. And that's most important. And then you could be more efficient and more effective with your work because you know what your ancestors did. And it might be a combination of things, but you got to know your ancestors specifically. And once we get all that, you know, like Tut was just saying, once they see a unified fort and strength here, not saying it would be easier, but I see what he's saying before bringing our others over, you know what I'm saying, so to speak, just make sure we taking care of ourselves, because if you can't do for self, once again, if you can't do for self, you can't do for no one else. The only reason why brother Knowledge is able to share the knowledge and do the knowledge and spread the knowledge is because he got this knowledge and he has been applying it for himself all these years. Sundiala, excuse me, Sundiala, the only reason you able to be great and and display your greatness, you know what I'm saying, and to bring that out of others. You understand what I'm saying? It's because it's something you do for yourself.
True.
Same, you feel me? Same thing for Brother Tut. Tut is an organizer. He's a leader. If you around him, he's going to challenge you to organize and lead.
Mm-hmm.
So we from the era of each one teach one as well. And as long as you got some good brothers around you who could lead by example and conscious and aware of the decisions and the choices that they make, it can be done. And that's one of the things we got to show and display and express through this music.
Yeah, and we just went through a small period of time where they really just like tried to cancel people who had something to say right on out. Like even in the skill and the art of it, even if you wasn't saying something conscious, but you were saying something, they tried to cancel all that out just to make sure we wasn't coming back in. And it's really the only time where you see in music in this country or whatever, black music especially, that we don't really have somebody telling us, you know what I mean, a bunch of people saying something, you know what I mean, where it was giving us direction or was speaking from our voice. It's really just popping and slop. Pop and slop is all we hear right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the first time in the history of music that this has happened. So to me, the lane is wide open and the need is in the calling right now. They're begging for it in their actions. You can see it in their actions or the lack of action. What is needed right now is exactly what what's been put together third time here. You know what I mean? And I mean, when you look at the people coming and you listen to the music and you just go through and look at their videos, you can spend a day looking at everybody's videos and everybody's music. And when you finish watching that, you gonna know something. You're gonna be invigorated. You're gonna be like, oh my God, what just happened to me? I do it all the time. You know?
But this is what we had to understand though, son. It's like, how do we convey that to the larger community? We feel it. We get charged off that shit every day. I'm riding around every fucking day. That's why I started this shit, because I'm riding around into this shit. But how do we convey that to the rest of the community? We got to go all the way out. We got to be street A&R. We got to give shit that, hell, motherfuckers don't even goddamn have no CDs and shit no more. Now we got to have a barcode and say, hey, scan this shit to this shit.
Well,
I this will be the most revolutionary shit. I see you with your Africa chain on, my nigga. Scan this shit on my phone and listen to the card.
Let me read this real quick. Let me read this real quick. I want to answer Tut's question. That's a beautiful question. And he know we gorillas. And gorillas don't have mass movements, but mass movements move in a gorilla fashion. Guerrillas don't have mass movements, but mass movements move in a guerrilla fashion. So, with this guerrilla aspect, George says, George,
Right.
because we got this black author. He said, in the ambush, he says, the only form of attack employed by the guerrilla forces is the ambush.
Yeah.
The surprise attack. The ambush. The surprise attack. Okay? So, for whatever level that we're operating on, this is how we operate. And mass movement operate in a guerrilla fashion. When they come to kick your door in, they don't put it on social media. They come under the cover of darkness and kick your fucking door in and snatch you out. Okay? There must never be any front line. So for the people who say they on the front line and they got this book, they ain't never read it, okay? Or they read some parts of it. There must never be any front lines or defending of territory. They was in Vietnam and they got the fuck out of Vietnam. They was in Somalia and got the fuck out of Somalia because they were fighting guerrillas that fought against everybody else in the world who came to see them, and they all got their asses kicked and got the fuck out of there. Nobody is occupying those places. Okay? The only engagements that are carried out to completion are the ones that we are winning. Winning. What they learned in Vietnam and what they learned in Somalia is every time one U.S. coalition force member went down, it took 7 or 8 people to get them out of the battlefield.
Yep.
What disruption could be happening right there? So I'm using this from what I know, not from speculation. So you apply it to what you know and how you're supposed to move, what you do. You understand what I'm saying? So this is true. So this last part, just real quick, says, after the initial attack, if the enemy regains himself and counterattacks, we disengage and simply go home to await the next opportunity when we can catch him asleep with his women, moving in convoys or on the toilet. You understand?
Yep.
So if we're looking to move this out in the way that we're supposed to move it, the same way we put it out is the same way we're supposed to circulate. People just supposed to know. Y'all heard Tut say earlier, if it just drop off the CD and you got a way to go, that's what it's supposed to go. So they didn't think that our insurrection movements on plantation was in an organized fashion. It looks sporadic. You can't have 250 insurrections on plantation and it's not moved and carried out in a strategic fashion. We're not looking at Nat Turner's rebellion in that way. We're not looking at the Haitian Revolution in that way because we have been desensitized towards warfare strategy unless it's a loved one. We really only killing people that we love. We're no longer killing people that we hate and that are enemies to our people. And once you can get somebody to kill somebody that they love, it's over. There's no reforming that. So, in the case of Vietnam, North Vietnam versus South Vietnam, they stopped fighting each other and said, we have terrorists. This is where the word terrorist is used. We have ghostly terrorists parachuting in our place. So understand that terminology and what that is, and then think about your best skill set, what you do in the best way, because we'd be like, we ain't got no support, and how we trying to get... No, we don't operate like that under occupation.
Yeah.
When you're under occupation, you operate in a guerrilla fashion. It can be a mass movement, but who's supposed to see the mass movement? Nobody. And whoever's supposed to be affected by it, they can't tell nobody because they fucking lights are out. You understand? So if y'all remember that movie Scarface, by the time Scarface had hung up the phone, them gorillas was in his fucking backyard killing everybody. You see what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't a whole thing. Sosa didn't have to show up. All he had to do was send the word. The word was already sent. They was in his backyard killing him. So these instances, when we're talking about disengaging, it's not retreating. We're talking about, okay, the only thing that we carrying through to completion is when we're winning. Anything else is skirmishes. It's skirmishes. Do you see the whole police force at the same time, or you see a couple of cop cars that's on patrol, that's assigned to a sector? Now, when it's time to do something big, a big military operation, you see them out in force. But other than that, you don't see that. So they're not supposed to see the whole operation because they don't understand the scope. So whatever you do well, however it's supposed to go, it's supposed to be what? On the need to know. Operation still supposed to be on the need to know. It can look mass. They got mass communication out there. They get this stuff out and make it look like it's mass, but it's like 4 or 5 spaces that control how it's distributed to on a mass scale. So if we have these hubs in place, then the distribution network decides how it goes out, where it goes out, who hears it and who don't hear it. Because you have to be able to control that. And you have to be able to have eyes on it in a way where, back to what you said, Tut, about your intelligence. Your intelligence. So how, where, who, and how that message is received. And what do people do with it? That's a total level of intelligence. So if you're looking to get something out in a space where you want people to use it, to operate with it, to implement it, then it needs to be controlled in a way where you have that predicted outcome 8 times out of 10. The last thing I wanted to say, I wanted to read 2 more things, just real quick. The counter-terrorist, faceless, nameless specialist in all martial arts is the first soldier of the people. And the last thing, if we accept revolution, we must accept that all that it implies. This is for the ones who saying they revolutionary but gangster, or revolutionary but gangster, or if they're using that moniker, okay? If we accept revolution, because if you're a revolutionary, you accept revolution, we must accept all that it implies. Repression, that's the first thing. Counter-terrorism, that's the second thing, okay? Because they're the terrorists. So where's our counter-terrorist element? Who's countering the efforts of the terrorists? I want y'all to understand that. Days filled with work. Everybody you see is putting in that work. There's not enough hours in the day for most of the time for all of the things that we need to get done. Days filled with work, nervous strain, meaning you'll lose your motherfucking mind with that. When you're thinking of that, you see what I'm saying? When you're thinking about what goes along with what you have to do and all of the things that's involved with it, all of the people who lost their lives along the way. Every time you get worried that one of your comrades ain't here or one of your comrades cased the fuck up, the nervous strain that come along with it, and then that resilient, steadfast nature that you have to keep going. Ain't no fucking quitting. Prison, that's something to look forward to. Funerals is the last thing. So if you accept revolution, and if you accept the moniker of revolutionary, this is what you have to look forward to. This was made very plain by somebody who went to prison for 1 year and never came the fuck home. Who received a death sentence without saying being on death row. 1 year to life. And received a death sentence. So these are the things that we have to have an understanding, because I'm still with understanding. I ain't super deep with the understanding. I leave that to the professionals. Okay, understanding. You know, for me, what's the best part? You see what I'm saying? So with that understanding, this is the space that we're operating in. From the propagandists to the counter-terrorists, faceless, nameless, specialists, faceless. Not Facebookers, faceless. Ain't nobody supposed to know who the fuck you are. Ain't nobody supposed to know who the fuck you are. You want everybody to know who you are.
Yeah. Talk to him, Knowledge.
You want everybody to know who you are. You don't know who kicking in your fucking door. You don't know who dragging your people out in the streets. When people get missing, there's an element of us that go and find them. Nobody knows who they are. Nobody knows who they are. So we just need to put it together in that way. So there's a place for proper propaganda. You're supposed to know who the proper propagandists are. You're supposed to know that's their duty, that's their responsibility, that's their contribution. But for the ones who have that other envelope, nobody's supposed to know who the fuck they are or where they are unless they get captured. But most of us, we understand that if we get captured or killed, ain't nobody coming for us. You're supposed to just keep on going. So if we start off with 1,000 and we end up with 1, there's no replacement.
Right.
Go ahead, son.
No, I'm
I seen it in your eyes, man. I seen the blood in your eyes from over here. I seen it.
First of all, this is a Mike. I know you can build with me on this. This is very reminiscent of, you know what I mean, of Outlaw BG Radio, Outlaw Radio, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean, it's this time. You know what I'm saying? It's around this time, about to be. So, you know what I mean? But a lot of us are not even making the music like we fulfilling our purpose in the words we're saying. A lot of us are making some music just to make the music and falling in line with the entertainment aspect of it. And they're not really feeling, but the ones who are now coming together, and they're giving you, you know what I mean, not just the rhyme and the reason, but they're giving you the potion. They're giving you the potion, pushing the motion, you know what I'm saying, beyond your emotions. Just, you can feel what they're saying, and they live in what they're saying. It's right and just music. It's not even conscious. It's beyond the conscious aspect. Y'all was listening. Wait, they was talking on Killer Priest last night. You know what I mean, on his Born Day show, which Knowledge Born. Hold on a second. Knowledge Born was a guest on Killer Priest last night live. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but you know what I'm saying. So, but just building in different aspects of consciousness, like 200 is okay. Somebody's aware. All right, but we divine beings. You know what I'm saying? So we coming together right now of what we're saying and what's going on at the RBG Fest on the 27th is more than just somebody doing and putting on a show. It's always been that way. Where it's at, you know what I mean, who's gonna be there, but then what it means to be able to still do this right now. We still got the same amount of people in jail as we had enslaved, you know what I mean, 150 years ago. You understand that? And it was still insurrections like you was talking about. I mean, so I mean, this is part of what we have to do, and we sporadic everywhere. We in Phoenix, Arizona. We in Arkansas. We in Dallas. We in Florida. We in New Jersey. We in Connecticut. We even in Nebraska. Out there in Las Vegas.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? So in the travels that we've had, we know what we can do. And having events like this all over, you know what I'm saying? It's not just the event, you know what I mean, for the entertainment, for you to come and listen to the music, but for you to really recognize and feel the vibration and feel the energy of the culture and what it means. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think I'll be kidding when I tell you red, black, and green is the answer. It's always been the answer. It's been that way for 15,000 years. I mean, it's everything you need. It's in your blood. It's in your melanin. You know what I'm saying? You're walking on the land right now. What else is there to discuss? What else is there to discuss? That's what I got to say. Oh yeah, and that beat was made by me. That beat for Free Siddiqui was made by my brother right here, and Malik Kalam was involved in that because he was going to choose that track, but I happened to, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I got the track. You know what I mean? So you still got the track, Malik. You know what I'm saying? All that came from you anyhow. So salute all day.
Salute. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Those were some powerful excerpts, born. You know what I'm saying, from that book. You know, a whole lot of things to marinate, and if pardon me, do y'all hear that humming, or is that just on my end? Because I'm hearing like some static, a fan or something. No, y'all don't hear it.
Yeah, I hear it. Yo, that's Thutmose. That's your mic. Yeah.
Voila. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, you know, as I was saying, the things that was read from the book was profound, dealing with the revolution. And you know, like even myself, I'm you know, just to say, skeptical sometimes to get on platforms and to discuss certain things, not out of fear, most definitely not out of that, but just as you stated in the book, right? And when you said it, I started laughing because when I was asking about my ancestors, you know, when I was saying, show me some faces, you feel me? Give me some names. They told me the same thing he wrote in that book. Sometimes you faceless and you nameless. You understand what I'm saying? You can't be. Now, this day and time, this era, everybody want to be seen and heard, you know, and now I heard when you was talking about on the cameras, with Rock, you know, during his presidency, we were able to see more brothers and sisters get killed than ever before, which was amazing. But yeah, some things don't always need to be said, yo. For real, some things don't always need to be said. Like they say, actions speak louder than words for a lot of things. But I noticed, for a while, it's just been a whole lot of talk. Um, but when things are done to us, it's almost out of nowhere because the discussions to have these movements or to have our organizations moved upon, you know what I'm saying? Is we don't know they coming, and like knowledge was discussing, and I Tut, um, it was done in the black of the night, in the dark of the night, so you can't see it coming. And they have on gear, so you don't know who it is that's doing these acts, you know. And just like Mama Tamu was saying last night, whenever they would come and shoot up the houses they would be in, you know. Um, i- if I heard her correct, they would be a blackout at first. And I heard you talking about the blackout from the from the RBG Fest. I told y'all I listened to the whole show.
Mhm.
You feel me? But yes, some things shouldn't always be said, and you know, that black we should move in the black of the night, yo. I mean, that's just always how it has been. And even when you look at Mother Earth and our Father Universe, like knowledge was saying, we might go to sleep at night and wake up and whole new life is outside.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't see that creation. We didn't see that revolution. We didn't see that evolution that took place in the black of the night, in the dark of the night. You know what I'm saying? So need to consider that too. And go back to reading whatever material that was put put place for us. You know, as Tut was saying, 100 years, 200 years from now, somebody might Google something and we come up. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they left the information, for us, so we gotta leave the information for them. But we gotta make sure we read the information that's left behind, you know, and we have to study it, you know, real. But yeah, man, as I always, man, you feel me? Big up knowledge, man. You know, the platform. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of different shit. Damn near everybody got a podcast now, and I ain't trying to be funny. I ain't trying to knock nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But to have one where it's consistent with knowledge and information, you know what I'm saying, says a lot. Because even as we was talking about the music back then with Dead Prez and how it's not heard as much now, the revolution in the music or that type talk, or how you were saying that X Clan was before their time and things of that matter. Past couple of years, everybody been woke all of a sudden. Everybody woke. You know what I'm saying? Everybody woke now. So maybe it's just that time, right? But I used to tell one of my homeboys back in the day, um, when we used to write the rhymes and the songs, I'd be like, yo, bro, we gotta write this for the future. You feel me? What we writing now, they might not get it now. But when you in tune and when you tapped in, and once again, if history is repeating itself and we reading the material that's left behind us, we somewhat passing along same messages. And I heard Tut say how you sent him the picture of the revolutionary and the musician. You know what I'm saying, so to speak. But if you think about it, they have always went hand in hand. Of course, even when you think about those drums, you know what I'm saying, it was war drums a lot of times, or letting you know war was coming, or letting you know a message or the messenger was coming. Um, I was I was listening to this Nina Simone documentary, and to hear her, I didn't know she was as close in the movement as she was,
Hmm.
right? You know what I mean? She actually said she moved out of America once they assassinated Dr. King
Mm-hmm.
because they were so close. You know what I mean? And it just, hell, just did something to her. And if I recall correctly, James Brown was performing that night when he got assassinated. And they used that concert to help calm the people down, for a lack of better term, as
Mm-hmm.
well. But even when you listen to his songs, I'm Black and I'm Proud, music has always been part of the revolution, always, So um, to me, it just go hand in hand. I mean, hell, like even Marvin Gaye was singing about what's going on.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This is the
You
only
know what I'm
time.
saying?
This is the only
Curtis
time.
Mayfield,
in
Curtis.
music
I
history.
mean, music has always been political. You know what I'm saying? From the Curtis Mayfields to, come on, man, like, come on, look. It always go hand in hand. But
This is what I'm saying.
once the corporations got into it and they found out a way to capitalize it and the control and the influence of it, you know, that's when it became entertainment.
Yeah. But just because they use a tool, which leads us, you know what I'm saying, forward even into what he was talking about this RBG Nation music thing. You mean they got a tool. That don't mean they are the only people that can use that tool. It's a tool. But if we use that tool the way that we supposed to, even in a myriad fashion, then you know what I mean, we can get what we need and not even have that affect us, but that can replenish us if we work together and we do it right. You know what I'm saying? So we already have everything we need. We don't have to be around each other. You mean, let's put this thing together properly, like Thutmose was saying, and we can do that guerrilla work at everywhere we get, all over the planet, just music wise, with the backing proper. We got everything we
Yeah,
need.
yeah, most definitely. And we moving forward with it. So, just like I said, man, we just ain't reached that day in the future yet.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? It's already said and done. You know, that day just ain't came yet, man. But yeah, yeah.
But I
And
know on August 27th, yeah, y'all need to be in the building for that. You need to be in or out or all over that building. You know what I'm saying?
oh
For
yeah,
that. Because
oh yeah,
that's gonna be amazing. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Now, I heard a question too, and I think it came from you, knowledge, and it was how can we get the people involved or attracted to it? Something like that, right? Um, I when we was at a Juneteenth fest, right? And once we took the stage, and one thing I learned um, through observation, um, when you MC or when you rock a show, You feel me, so to speak, or when you move the crowd, you ain't you're not trying to move the crowd, right? What you want to be doing something on stage that look like it's so much fun. And listen, now I know this is a revolution, but listen to what I just said. You want to be having so much fun on stage that the crowd is trying to get on stage and have fun with you, so they moving, right? And I'm saying that to say when we took that stage Juneteenth and the red, black, and green flags was waving, and we playing the Dead Prez music, and we playing the X-Clan music, and the flags is waving, and we got our red, black, and green bandanas and our scarves, and we having our own little party on stage.
Mm-hmm.
We having fun on stage. The crowd migrated to us, right? A lot of people think being conscious, right? And I got a song too, yo. It's hard. I'm gonna drop it one day. I'm gonna share it. But it's called Yo. But the song is called It's Cool to Be Conscious. You feel me? Get out my face with that nonsense. Get out my way with that garbage. Give me some knowledge. It's cool to be conscious. It's cool to be conscious. Once, like, when I go to these functions we have, man, look, boy, I see some of the coolest, some of the flyest, you feel me, revolutionaries. At the same time, though, they soldiers, they warriors. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? See some of the most beautiful, softest queens. At the same time, don't get it twisted. They'll cut your head off. They'll bust a cap in. What I'm saying, though, it's still a cool vibe, right? I think a lot of people are under the impression that consciousness or awareness is not a community and a social, you know what I'm saying, like a socializing setting when it can be. When I go to these functions from Malcolm X to Marcus Garvey to Juneteenth to the one Tarsili have to whatever is going on in the community, it's always man, woman, child, from the infants to the elders. It's always a safe, fun environment.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always activities and speakers and guests there to raise levels of consciousness
Mm-hmm.
and bring forth different needed awareness within the community. And over the years, I watched these different events grow because of that, because people see that, you know what, it is fun. But after that, you still got to get out there and do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And as knowledge was stating too, um, these are also opportunities once all that power is gathered, you know what I'm saying? Ground yourself in it. You know what I'm saying? Because it can be overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? So recharge your own personal battery so when you do move back out there, you won't be depleted. You know what I'm saying? And doing the everyday work, yo. Because you can drain yourself, them energy vampires, like yo, that's real. You know what I'm saying? You interacting with everybody, with multiple people on a daily basis. If you ain't shielded up and protected up and grounded and super sage them hoes a couple times, boy, it will get you. You know what I'm saying? For real. But yeah, that's how ooh, The same way hip hop took over the world, so to speak, because they took a pain and like the song Rob Bass, hell, even though he sampled it, joy and pain, sunshine and rain,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's how it is with the movement too. You know what I'm saying? It has to be presented in a way. Um, I've also noticed how the black community will support every other. Well, look, blacks will go to Mexican restaurants, they'll go to Asian, they go to Thai, they go to Italian, they'll go to damn. Whew. But a lot of times, unfortunately, we don't support our own the same. And we need to find a way to, as a conscious community, to infiltrate these other communities, get some of their economics and monies and resources and bring it back to us. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you know, like you were saying though, and I know that it's not a question here with us, but you feel me, like in a right and a just way. You know what I'm saying? The same way every other nationality, race, whatever, got a store in the black hood and they come get our money every day and then go back to their shit. We need to find a way to go get their money and bring it back to us. You feel me? That's only right. You know?
I mean, when you look at it, I was just on a brother's man, my fault for getting his brother's name incorrect. So I'm not even gonna do it, but he got 100,000. He got 100,000 followers or whatever on his Instagram, right? But he was like, the majority. He made a post. The majority of the people who are following him ain't even from America. You know what I mean? He be spitting and he be putting, you know what I mean, RBG, Black Power situations all over his page. But he show people's videos. You know what I'm saying? He said most of the viewers is coming from Europe and Scandinavia, is coming from someplace overseas. It ain't even here. You understand what I'm saying? But
right.
they loving it. It's almost like I say it like this. You know what I'm saying? You owe me this money anyhow. Like these cats are gonna fuel, you mean, the financial aspect of the revolution, because that's what they wanted. They want to hear that. It's almost like they sadomasochists. You know what I'm saying? So either they act liberal, whatever it is, but they are gonna pay the money to hear what we saying. The last Dead Prez concert I went to, there was more white people in it than it was black.
I mean, come on, man. You heard Chuck D. You like think about it. Hip hop was selling out stadiums back then.
Yeah.
Who you think was in them stadiums? I used to call. Now, there's an argument right now on Facebook, right? Shout out Supreme. You feel me? Lone Star RBGs. Because he always go in on Eminem, right? As he should. But you got a lot of brothers right now, you know, who is mad at Game because he diss Eminem, right? And you
Mike,
know,
we ain't doing that on here. Come on.
No, hold on. Listen,
You
hold
already
on.
said the
No,
name twice.
I just want to make
Come
a
on.
point. I just want to make okay.
Yeah.
But look, I just want to make a point to show the politics of it, right? You know what I'm saying? To show the
She made my
politics.
skin crawl twice. I already almost had a damn
look,
stroke
bro.
on here.
Man, look, bro. Trust me, bro. I'm
I knew it was coming. I just
I
couldn't hold it.
really just want to make a point, right? And my point is, if those were the people at the Public Enemy concerts right now, who do you think are that individual's biggest supporters? He is not the biggest because he's the best. It is how they do their support. That's all I'm making. Trust me, bro. I ain't no boy. Come on. Hey, big bro Malik Kalam used to smack that crap.
Yes, sir. I tell the
Real
story
talk.
all the time. I tell
Real
the
talk.
story all the time.
So you know what I'm saying? It ain't mean like that, but it's just the politics and the propaganda of how they do things to make it, you feel me, to make it appear. I tell cats all the time this. Hip hop got so big, it got so big, and they had to talk about it. They had to create a face for it that looked like them as they do with everything else. You understand what I'm saying? Man, come on, man. That man there said himself he got his whole style from Master Ace Craig G and M. Same people that wrote the rhymes for the movie. Boy ain't got no hold no weight, boy. Him and none of that whole crew. But anyway, I'm just saying that to say once again, if it is a demand for the type of music that we have always done, I believe a few people who started making music like this and who no longer make music only stopped because of the politics that was involved. But if you never stopped and you continue and your message is the same as it was then because you making timeless message music, it was always a time because I was always, even though it wasn't on the radio, I always had access to some, whether it was a local cat here, somebody I never heard here, I came across somebody online. There was always quote unquote conscious revolutionary music. That's how we able to put these shows on, right? Just as he said, his playlist, he play them all the time. So why not bring all of them together? We was already out there. This is just being brought under the umbrella that was placed forth or put forth into place for us anyway, which was the RBG, Red, Black, and Green umbrella, which celebrated 100 years. You know what I mean? So all of this has already been in existence. You know what I'm saying? We just, we just picking up the tools that were laid down for us to continue building. You know? So, and as we were saying, we got the baton right now, yo. We just gonna run with it. You know what I'm saying? And he was talking about them African route. You feel me? Them African wild dogs, how they train. And also, because I saw a documentary on them as well. What they also do too is when they start to train, another reason why they so successful in hunting is because they spread out, right? They listen to this. These dogs are so wise. Before they run up on their prey, they look at the area and be like, okay, they can run left, they could run right, and they position themselves ahead in the area that they know they might run. Ain't that something? So once again, if we strategically, as visionaries as well as revolutionaries, see what's going on ahead of us and strategically place and put ourselves in places and put forth things, you know what I'm saying, for the next group, we'd be all right. Man.
Be all right. Better than that.
Yeah.
Better than that. Facts.
Yeah. But it's a continuation, man. It's a process. You know. Of course, the thing them brothers was doing in the 60s, boy, woo, I commend all of them.
Yeah.
Real. And if all I gotta do is make a song, yeah, I make a song, bro. They
Giving
did
back
so much
knowledge
more.
of my raps.
We got 10 minutes left, so and then it's Garvey Day, so we got 10 minutes left in Garvey Eve, man. So talk to us, man.
Okay. All right.
Thutmose, you still there? I see you. All right. So listen, the music is one of the most important mediums that we have to control the narrative of what is needed. And if we're not expressing what we're doing right now, we're not expressing that revolutionary call, that retributionary aspect, what we're doing is just leaving an open door for them to say whatever they want to say and do whatever they're doing with our tools. This is ridiculous. So, you mean when you come to the RBG Fest, you understand that you're going to know that it ain't just some small little, group of unpowerful. It's the ancestors with us. You're going to feel the vibe. You're going to feel the energy. You're going to hear the words. You're going to hear those words different than you ever heard them before. You might even heard the song before. You might know the song, but when you see them say it and it come out of their mouth, the same thing that filled them in that write it. I know, because that's what happened.
You feel that spirit.
You feel that, and then you write it, and you put it, you type whatever you do, and then you record that, and then you go from recording to a visual, and you put that out there. That's some superhuman. That's some outside of the body experience manifesting itself in visual, physical, lyrical form. It's different, but when you see it right there in front of you and them doing it, man, all that just comes right through, because it's truth. It's truth holds all the power. It's not a forced situation. Truth to force the power. Funny. Anyhow, so it's what you always needed. It's what the vibration and frequency, because everything's vibration and frequency, y'all. So I just say, bring yourself to it. Come see it. Make sure you get your tickets now. You know what I mean? And do more than just support. You mean in walking through the door, but you mean the vendors who are going to be there coming there with quality stuff. I got stuff right now. You mean I got that rock with me when I go on stage. You know what I'm saying? Like my ancestors. So make sure you come and support so that we can get more and bigger and have a 3-day event. We already got 2 right now because we're gonna be there Sunday, but let's get a 3-day event. You know what I'm saying? And just keep it rocking, and that's when we can start bringing our African brothers over, because we put that work in and supported each other, and came in there with what we needed to get it done. And even if it ain't what you used to, it's the cause. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you bring your best to that.
Well, look, let me say this. Let me add this, right? All right. Another reason you might want to come is because you most likely are making home safe.
Yeah, that's true.
Look, you most likely will be in a safe environment. And I say that because every time I turn around at other venues where different kind of raps is being played, you get a lot of shootings. You feel me? Like, I ain't trying to be funny, trying to be sarcastic, but and not trying to say that certain styles of music promote certain things, but words are power, right? So if you are talking about your ops all the time, and unfortunately your ops look like you, and I'm at the party singing about my ops and what I want to do to my op, and I turn around and be like, hey, Knowledge, you look like a op. What you think is going to happen? You understand what I'm saying? But when we have these music fests, I just told you, even if we don't have these music fests, when you come to these conscious activities, the children can run around safely and play.
Mm-hmm.
The elders can sit back safely and get treated with respect and honored. So that's the main reason people need to come to the RBG Music Fest and any other type festival we put on, just for the safety amongst our people. And if we can't feel safe in our own communities and amongst ourselves, it's a problem. And Marcus Garvey stated everywhere he went, he noticed people of color, our color, being mistreated on whatever level of mistreatment could be handed out. We was receiving it financially, physically, spiritually, emotionally, however we could be mistreated and disrespected, we was receiving it. So one of the main things he wanted to do was bring all people of color together. He also stated that he noticed that they respect money and power and manufacturers and producers,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we weren't producing anything. So we said we're gonna build up some some factories and become some manufacturers, and I'm gonna get these steam lines, and we're gonna be able to ship our products to other country ports around the world, as well as trade amongst ourselves. You know, and you saw how they cut that short. Use one of us as the infiltrator, to plant the seed. So Bill O'Neill's have been in the game. Them Judas has been in the game for a long time as well. And I say that to say, once again, when you learning and you reading and you studying what has happened, we done heard so many times history repeats itself. So why are we so surprised when these individuals from history in the past reappear now? We just need to keep our eyes open for them and be aware. You know?
Salute to that. Be alert.
Yeah.
More alerts.
Yeah. Pay attention. Like they say, soldiers, attention, at attention, a 10 hut, always ready. Yo, man, they got so many distractions, man.
It's a song. That's a song. We doing that shit. We doing that right there, Potter. 10 hut. 10 hut. Yep.
You know, they already got the formation.
Yeah.
But much time we got, boy? 2 minutes to midnight.
2 minutes.
We got a red, black, and green confetti. Busted in the air. Yeah. But RBG. 100 years with the flag. Hey, first time all right. So in North Carolina, we used to get these tapes from KISS and WBLS. So this particular tape right here, it came from KISS. And I remember it because it was a Chuck Chill Out show. Right? And check this out. We was talking about X-Clan, right? Yo, Professor X was on the show, right? He was like, "This is Lumumba Carson." Okay. And he said, "I'm here with Positive K." He was there with Positive K, right? From I'm Not Having It. And Positive K said something about aboard a good ship, hip hop, Chuck chills out. Something about something about the mutiny, something. But then he said, raise the red, black, and green with the key. It's due to me. And I'm like, raise the red, black, and green with the key. The fuck is the raise the red, black, and green with the key? That was one of the first times I ever heard that. You know what I'm saying? And ever since then, you know, I did a little bit of research and stuck with it. It was like, okay. Then you had Jungle Brothers when they dropped their song, you know, red's for the blood and the black's for the land. Green is the color. I mean, excuse me. Red's for the, yeah, green is the color, stands for the land.
Yeah,
So,
that's for the man. Yeah, yeah. I just heard that
you
the
know what
other
I'm
day.
saying? For years, yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Blue.
For years, they've been rapping about that, man. So, you know, we just carrying the torch, yo. You
Facts.
know what I'm saying? You know. So,
Marcus Garvey walked. He rode through the streets with proper circumstance. You know what I'm saying? Made sure that you seen the galley, the regalness. You know what I'm saying? And represented, yeah, and put that right in front. You know what I'm saying? He was the answer. It's
yeah,
been the
yeah,
answer.
yeah. You know, they say he really scared them, though. They say he really scared them when he did his parade and he had an army in the parade.
Yeah, yeah,
Hold on, nigga. You don't supposed to have no army,
yeah.
nigga.
I'm
Yo,
saying,
they say that was the turning point right there. You know. So once again, man, you can't put everything on display on Front Street, yo. You can't. You can't. You know. But yeah, man. Shout out, Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
hmm.
Mm. UNIA.
Hey, you know where I'm at right now, Knowledge. Knowledge born. You know where I'm at. So I'm glad to be here. You know what I mean? Appreciate love. Uh, my closing remarks is tune in tomorrow. We getting busy. You know what I'm saying? Get me on the actual day. And it's my honor to come through with the vintage season. Hey, Mike Chambers, you on the album. So you know what I'm saying? Everybody who's on the album, I didn't even say it before, but everybody who on the album, you know what I mean, come through. We'll talk about it. You know what I'm saying? What you was on, your experiences. I'm gonna tell you what I mean with some of the lyrics. Let y'all, you know what I mean, get a deeper in close convo, Godvo with what we doing and why vintage season uh is important right now, just like what we was talking about and what it's doing and how it's a vertebrae in the backbone of writing just sounds. So come through tomorrow, 9-ish p.m. You know how we do. You know what I'm saying? You know what's coming on. So just get on there and just wait. You know what I mean? Come on, stop it. You know what I mean? Get some breath, breathe, relax. You know what I mean? Just get ready. We coming. You know what I'm saying? But everybody who on the album, make sure you come through if you want to. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even putting it out there. You just know. I know you know because I didn't send it to everybody. So, you know what I'm saying? Come through. Make sure. And it's 3K for 3K. Don't forget that. 3K for 3K. You know what I'm saying? Get your
Right.
donations in there. Make sure you see it right there. It's going across the bottom of the screen. Yeah. Holla. You know what I'm saying? Hit that PayPal, do that donations. Let's get the thing rocking. You know what I'm saying? That's what we
Right.
doing. You know what I mean? It's that support. You know what I'm saying? Collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, manana tomorrow. So you know what I'm saying? Putting all that together. That's what it is. Peace, power. I'm out, y'all.
All
Salute.
right. Salute. Salute.
This time here, RBG. Repatriation the situation. I just want to let y'all know I hear all that shit y'all talking. You know in your heart of hearts you can't fuck with this. You knows that. Why I'm tripping, y'all knows that. Let's start talking, let's get into it. Whoa, hold up, what they talking about? I hear you. Matter of fact, fuck all that they talking about. Fuck all that yakety yak, wanna run they mouth. Machete clappity clap, oh goon run them out. Cross the border, show say arrow, hunt them down. Babaloo, why you clean off, it ain't nothing now. 30,000 in the air, my phone still on. Writing rhymes, earphones, with the kill on. Get the skill on, little homie, the real on. EI's getting the chill on, watching me get my meal on. Take a stand in the wreck, get my build on you. You disrespect the whole set and get your steal on. My Duke where if you can't get your bill on. Debit card swipe up, performance is getting tighter. I'm older and plus I'm nicer the motion it I sip on. Most of y'all skip the protocol. Trip on forces and slip, bust your head. Train of thought wreck, you there, didn't do what your we goon said. Now it's cold red, skeptics is begging me get my heel on. Back like I never left, proper like a sweater vest. I'm the ancestors' favorite rapper, Megadeth. That's true. No guitars though. Just a hard flow. That's true. Nicest priest on these beats as far as bars go. A Joshua Eli's on my chest as far as scars go. Stars go, the Fargo stand and rock for photo ops. Bypass their own hood like they don't know the block. Faking culture shots like they forgot them struggles. All the photo when that muzzle blast cats be like. Suffering succotations, beats, concrete, street with sophistication. Repat nation, we deep, baby. Plus RBG certified. Fly like the butter with the golden box cutter. Hello. Yeah. She's so flirtatious. Smile like the Nile, her booty so outrageous. Classic yet refreshing, just to know you is a blessing. Peach schnapps in the flukes, here's a toast to patience. Oh yeah, a closed mouth don't get fed. She came to bed and woke up with your moja on her head. I just wanna see the fam blossom. Inhibitions, I lost them, I'm feeling awesome. My shit. Oh man, Sundiata, I told you they weren't fucking with me, car.
You need to ask yourself that. Why do you eat food? You need to ask yourself, what is food? Because we got consumables, as acidic, dry, whatever you want to call it, and then we got alkaline, wet, real food. We got fake food and we got real food. Now you growing up in this world, I don't know how old you is. If you my age, you 20, you 28, 29, we is the last ones to know what real is. These jits don't know what real is because they being raised on the fake. So they put the germ in the seed. Roundup ready. They put the germ in the seed. They got fake seeds. So I'm telling you, this is war. Yeah. This is fucking war. You got to learn the real and you got to decipher from the fake because it's getting hard to tell. And that's my message.
Yeah. Now we gonna tell them. Night in front. We tell them like this, yo. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a African. Yeah, y'all like that? No more. This man's mind is open. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a. Let's get back to the
motive is best developed by recognizing the common enemy.